sticks, but I don't know what they do.
I've never seen that before.
Those are called fireworks.
Wow, Yoda! These things are so beautiful! Absolutely amazing!
I never imagined I'd be playing with fireworks in this world. Long live the rare items.
These aren't bad.
They're so pretty.
Wow, are those the items we got in the dungeon as item drops? Oh my gosh, guys. Whether you say it in English or in Japanese, like the dialogue is just so bare and so boring and so just like, wow. Like, I'm struggling to review like a lot of these anime this summer season. Like a lot of the anime this summer season, no joke, has just gotten like so bad. And it's just like it's turned into like some like by the number stuff. Like I'm gonna talk through everything holistically. I'm gonna talk through this episode. But like just going through a lot of the different anime that you and I might be watching. Horimiya, The Missing Pieces, okay? Like that one was supposed to be like some kind of follow-up to like one of the best romance anime ever. The Missing Pieces, honestly, it's boring and it kind of ruined the show for me a little bit. So I'm just gonna pretend it doesn't exist and continue holding up Horimiya on a pedestal, right? Reign of the Seven Spellblades, Jesus Christ, so effing boring and so just like everywhere. Like the plot is awful, characters are awful. Masame-kun's Revenge, supposed to be a show that follows up to a anime that's been like off for like 6 years, and it's just like they ruined it. Like they ruined it. The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, very pretty, kind of nauseating at times, super duper boring, and just like no thank you. The Reborn as a Vending Machine, I guess some people like it. I thought it was awful, wasn't funny at all. The Great Cleric started off pretty good, and then it just like lost its way and decided to retell the same story like 5 times, okay? Liar Liar, again, a great premise, totally boring, awful, like it lost its premise and plot line. My Unique Skill, the one we're watching today, right? Like I thought it had like a decent enough like storytelling and it had like a decent enough premise, and it just became the most blasé anime ever. Classroom for Heroes, really cool little premise there about like, you know, the hero that saved the world wants to go to school. It gets so boring and so by the numbers, right? Like just awful. My Tiny Senpai, okay, let me talk about the other tiny type, you know, person anime that have existed and how it's just a copy paste of all of those. Atelier Ryza, I mean, if you're in there for the thighs, it's about it, but the story, you're better off playing the game. Masterful Cat, this is the one that I actually genuinely really like, but the reality of it is it does everything in little segmented story blocks in like 4 or 5 different stories each episode, and probably 75% of them are a little bit boring at times, but it is the old person's anime. There's an orchestra anime that's super boring as well too. Like, you know, this season is just so disappointing. This season is really just held up by like Mashoko Tensei and My Happy Marriage and the most heretical Last Boss Queen, like out and maybe in Pokemon, if you're a Pokemon fan, you know, poke Pikachu in the back, but like it's just so not good. And this episode of My Unique Skill, right? It's like, okay, we have Sato. Everyone says this show isn't a harem. It is. It's just not a very good one. We have Clarence or Cadence or whatever the hell this girl, Cadence, Clarence, Severance, the black curl girl, the black hair girl name or whatever the hell her name is, Celeste. Clarence. We have Celeste, right? Who, you know, she was like, "Oh, are you proposing to me, Sato?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're the best. You do the pew pews." And she was like, "I hate you." And it's like, okay, not funny. They do a sub tournament that was like whatever. He makes her blush a bunch of times. Okay, whatever. Okay, then the big ooh moment is the dungeon isn't sprouting up drops anymore, but of course our boy can still drop because he's got the SS, Super S, Triple S class, you know, drop rates. And then, you know, the big moment was like, oh, he found a boss person or whatever. Like, oh, you're the one stopping it. Pew pew pew. And like, it's just so bad. Like, I cannot genuinely sit here, my friends. And if you like it, there's no, like, I put down why you like it and, like, put down the redeeming stuff about this episode in the comments below because I can't find one. Like this episode sucked ass. Outside of like character design, I think, Celeste, I love Celeste's character design. The bunny girl Eve, I think she's the best part of the show. Alice, like I don't really care about her existence because she was just simply introduced too late into the show. Like she was introduced last episode and the show's gonna end next episode. So really like my time with her is like whatever. And then you have Emily, who's like, the main girl, but she's like derpy. So it's like, I don't really like her either. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really Eve for me. But then when we get this episode where it's like lack of Eve, I feel like Eve is the one thing that like, like elevates the show to be humorous or whatever. Like she showed up and was like, yo, shoot the thing, give me a carrot. And that's really it, So her missing in like the core chunk of the show makes it really bad. So find something, if you're like loving it, vibing, like throw down in the comments what are you vibing with, because I just cannot find it. Like this episode, I was like, this is bad. So anyways, we have one episode left. I'm gonna finish it up, wrap it up. But like, man, a lot of these shows have made it really, really hard as an anime reviewer this season to stick with it the whole time. Cause like, yo, I want to drop this show. I want to like, I'm going through the list. I'm telling you guys, like straight up, like no bullshit. Like I'm going through the list and it's like, okay, Horimiya, drop. Am I actually the strongest? Okay, I really like that show. That one's a highlight of the season. I forgot to add that one in the list. Dreaming Boy is a realist. Okay, I can make it to the end. There's some things I really don't like, but it has some good stuff there. My Happy Marriage, probably the best show of the season that isn't called Mushoku Tensei. Girl Like Forgot Her Glasses, dropped it. Rated Second Place, dropped it. Masumi-kun's Revenge, I'm sticking with it, because like it has just enough to make me hate it, but like, yeah, I'll watch it to the end, okay? Classroom for Heroes, dropped it. My Unique Skill, I want to drop it. Liar Liar, I dropped it. The Great Cleric, I dropped it. Reborn as a Vending Machine, I dropped it. Masterful Cat, like it's right there too. Like, yo, this is one of those ones where like I don't want to review it anymore. Atelier Rise, dropped it. My Tiny Senpai, dropped it. Heretical Last Boss Queen, really good. So it's like, yo, all these anime, it's just like, yo, I want to drop 75% of them. Like, there's that not good. Anyways, that's my time. Let me know in the comments, guys. Look forward to seeing you guys' thoughts there. I know I didn't really talk a lot about this episode, but not a lot happened. So, see you next one.